Pray for Israel, pray for Palestine, pray for Jerusalem, pray for Hamas, pray for this, that, and the other. You pray for those things and you're wasting prayers. That's what you're doing. Blowing hot air into blowing bubbles. That's what they like to say on the other side of the pond. You're just blowing bubbles. That's it. Those things are exactly that. Things. What is Israel? You have no idea. It's just a place of boundaries that a bunch of guys put together in 1940-some. And then they said, and then we don't want anybody who doesn't think like us, look like us, talk like us in our country. We'd rather have them killed, burned, and gone. And that's what Israel has become. So go ahead and waste your prayers over there. You know what? I'm walking around here. This is my Israel. I'll take Perrysburg, Ohio over Jerusalem any day of the week. You see bombs going off here? I walk around as a child of God in the city of New Jerusalem every day of my life. So I'm not wasting prayers about some other things, things. We got hundreds of thousands of people homeless in our own country. Millions of people strung out on drugs. Got some of them in my own family. I got some of them in my own circle of people. I'll pray for them 100 times over before I pray for things. We get too wrapped up in what the media, CNN, tells us to pray about. I don't think so. I don't think so. We all have that someone in our lives that is, we know is struggling, but we kind of hide it. And then we'll turn on the TV and worry about other people that don't matter in your everyday, day-to-day life. It's just what it is. Things don't matter. The people in your life matter. Pray for them. Pray for that lost cousin you had whose family abandoned him, dumped him on the streets because they couldn't handle him. Pray for that guy. Pray for the wife being abused by her husband, getting beaten. You know about it and you don't say anything. Pray for that guy. Pray for that buddy of yours. You didn't take the keys away on that party and he killed himself because you weren't man enough to take those keys away from him. Well, pray for that guy. Pray for his kids too. How about that? And that's what I do pray about, the situation over the pond, across the pond, the kids over there suffering because adults are idiots who can't understand that God, who they don't have any concept of, any wisdom of, any notion of. People use God to justify every stupid thing they do, and then the kids suffer for it. That's religion in a nutshell. The religion of terrorism. Do what we say or we will burn you in the streets. Because God said so. No, your God said that. Your God said to do that. Your God said to do that. Your God said to do that. Money. You serve money. They serve money. It's all about money. Money, money, money. Don't waste prayers. Pray for humanity to wake up from the nonsense, from the silliness. These people are atheists who use religion to make the rest of us look stupid. That's really what it is. Well, I'm not stupid, and I know a bunch of people are not stupid any longer. Right off the bat, people jumping in, pray for Israel, I stand with Israel, and then the facts came in. No, these guys ain't the good guys after all. In fact, none of them are good guys. They'll bomb a hospital in 2 seconds before they start worrying about what God had to say about treating foreigners in their own land. Don't get it twisted. Pray for common sense to come, return back. Pray for justice and wisdom. That's the new covenant. That's the Spirit of God being poured out on all the people. When you realize something sounds stupid and then you learn about it and realize, oh, that was stupid. You just experienced the outpouring of the Spirit of truth, justice, and righteousness. And this world needs much more of that, and thank God it's coming. It's coming. I hear the train a coming. All these songs that I do, that they're all just prophecy of the end times. This is the new song of the new covenant. I don't judge anybody on this earth. Would never judge another person as being unworthy of being used by the Most High God. You know why? If you're not being used by God, you're being used by Satan. It's that. You read in the gospel, Satan entered Judas, a disciple of Jesus Christ, who was at the Last Supper, one of the 12. Satan entered Judas. Because why? Judas had his mind on his money and his money on his mind. He wasn't serving God, because you can't serve two things. Can't serve God and money. So what happened? Satan entered Judas. And Satan will enter you when you put the world over God. Satan will enter any Hamas member when they put the world over God, and Satan will enter any Israelite over there who puts the world and their nation and their boundaries and their religion and their politics over God. Satan will enter them all, and that's how justice is being doled out. That's what it means when justice comes to the earth. God brings the good and the bad, son. Stop blaming the devil out there. Blame ourselves. We don't understand. We can't treat people like this. Satan will enter us, any one of us. When you put the world, material things, and your emotions over God, Satan will enter you, and you will lash out at a child of yours, at a family member of yours, at a co-worker of yours. Satan will enter you and do bad stuff, using you as a vessel, because you serve him now. You couldn't put the nonsense behind and surrender up your life to a higher purpose and cause, and so you're breaking your back for the world, and you're all emotional. Hey, Satan will enter you. That's how it works. What you're seeing now is the great tribulation, the fiery furnace. Okay, the world is being thrown into the fiery furnace, just like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. They were thrown in there, right? The point is, we all get thrown in. It's to have the faith to get through it. When you're inside, you're going to get in there. We're all going to be in the lion's den. If you're not in it, you haven't been in it, that's because you're nobody's even worried about you, because you're so far serving the world. That's why. If you're not in the lion's den or haven't been in it, if you haven't been in the fiery furnace to go through that process of faith, that's what's happening now to the world. You'll get yours sooner or later. The justice of God, it's always going to come through, because he's not going to be mocked any longer. This is what happens. You mess around and you find out what happens. That's it. And it's all love too. It's not God. God didn't. You chose it. God didn't. Those Hamas members, those Israelites who chose to put their country over God, politics over God, their property over God, they chose it. And so, unfortunately, it's just the way the world works, where it's the kids that get all the aftershocks, and it's the kids that need to learn in that country and in this country and in the world. It's the kids. Teach the kids. We got to teach them better than this. War is nonsense. Anybody involved in war has no part of God. They don't have God in their heart. They don't know what God is, because God is peace, not nonsense. And what you're seeing in the world today is nonsense. Just brief little message on this Thursday. Look up. When the end times are here, that means God is here. It's exciting times for me. Turn off the TV and get excited. Get into the Word of God. That's what it's about. Seek ye first the kingdom. God bless all. Have a great Thursday and a great weekend.